Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're getting back to work on Jeff Walker's CR250 engine from his Honda CR250 two-stroke that he's having me rebuild the engine out of. If you didn't see part one, I got the engine all torn down and ready to go to get all assembled today. So we have some really exciting stuff and this engine should come out absolutely amazing after all the work that's done to it. So make sure to watch to the end of the video to see how awesome it comes out. Before we get into that, I do want to say the YZ250 build is really close to assembly, so make sure to stay tuned for that. That should be the next video that drops on this channel, is the assembly on the YZ250, and then also the Banshee shifter cart. We have some super exciting mods coming on that here very soon. So a lot to look forward to, but let's head inside and get to work. So now that we're in the shop, the first thing we need to do is get all the cases torn down all the way and then get them in the sandblaster. So that includes taking out all the bearings and seals and stuff like that. Alright guys, well the cases are all prepped and ready to go. I know you guys have seen me prep these cases before if you watch the channel, so I went kind of skipped through the process a little bit. But what we're going to be doing next is applying some Cerakote. So if you haven't heard of Cerakote, it's not just paint, it's actual ceramic coating, but it lays down super thin like a paint would, and it's just as strong as powder coat. So I'm super excited to put this on Jeff's engine. I got a few different colors, not just this satin aluminum here, a few different other colors. I'll have linked down below in the description that I'm going to use on this engine here. So check those out if you guys are interested. But I'm going to go ahead, get these cases sprayed, and we'll see how they come out. Alright guys, well all the Cerakote is finished up, so I'm going to check out how it came out. I'm a little bit nervous about the little RC valve cover that I covered over the letters and sprayed with red. I just didn't know if the tape would hold up to that, so we'll see how that came out. But first let's check out this color here. So this was the gray color. I believe this is called tungsten gray, and super awesome color here. It seems to come out pretty even on the water pump. Everything looks good. Yeah, I like it. I like this color. I think it's gonna go nicely. I kind of wanted to choose something pretty metallic-y to go with the engine covers we got for the bike. But next up, let's see how this RC valve cover came out here. Did have to put a lot of the red on here just because it was took a little bit to cover over that gray. It's looking pretty good so far here. Hopefully we don't jinx ourselves. All right, and this actually looks like it came out perfect, so I'm super happy with this. Definitely excited to see how this looks on the bike. There was one other issue with the Cerakote though. Well, actually the only issue I'll show you guys here on the inner cases. Okay, so this is the ignition side case that I did in the satin aluminum, and it came out really good, exactly how that color is supposed to look. But this one here, which is the case that it connects to, came out, I don't know if you could see on camera, but it just came out a little bit darker. Kind of weird. I'm not sure. I think I might have mixed the Cerakote just a little bit off since I did it in 2 different batches of paint. So that could be it, but I'm just trying to decide if I should recoat this just because they touch and you can kind of tell they're different shades of that satin aluminum. Alright guys, so I went ahead and decided just to repaint that case just to make these look a lot more even, and as you can see they're pretty much the exact same color now. So I'm super happy about that. Now we can start building this engine. So the first step, I'm just going to throw these cases in the oven and get them ready to install the bearings. Okay guys, well it is finally time to put in the Wiseco crankshaft into the right side case here on the engine. Before I wanted to do that, I actually wanted to address that I'm using the Wiseco rebuild kit. I told you guys that in the last video, and a lot of you guys commented saying you had, or people brought up concern about the quality of the kits. So I saw those comments. I had actually heard that rumor before from a couple people, but I wanted to address it just because so many of you guys had commented it. So I reached out to the lead sales manager at Wiseco, and he told me that they are aware of that issue, that it did happen in the past, and they have really cleaned things up since then. So I'm confident to run the kit. Actually, the main bearings now, the 2 main bearings, are from the kit, and they are OEM bearings, so sourced from Japan. It says Japan on them. And then the big end bearing on the crankshaft is now from Japan. And then other parts on this crankshaft have been thoroughly tested and tested for run out and things like that. So I'm definitely confident to use this in Jeff's engine. And honestly, if it's able to hold up for Jeff, it could probably hold up for anyone. So we'll definitely get to see how good these crankshafts actually are. I mean, it looks awesome. It's brand new, so I'm excited to try it. Okay, so the left side of the engine here is pretty much all complete. It just needs to be finished getting bolted up. But before I do that, I just wanted to mention, if you guys probably saw here, I put on this Boysen factory racing cover. So Jeff sent this over. It's powder coated and brushed, super cool. It's gonna mash up really nicely with some of the other parts on this engine. So I'll have it linked down below in the description. And then you guys also probably noticed that I did use some brand new hardware here. Some Bolt motorcycle hardware, sent over this 2-stroke engine fastener kit, and they got pretty much every bolt you're gonna need on the engine, and it's all labeled here for you guys to check out. I'll have this link down below in the description with all the other parts and tools, so you guys can take a look at that. But yeah, super excited about this kit. It really livens up the engine and makes everything look nice. The old hardware on this bike was pretty worn out, so I mean, this is a definite upgrade compared to something like this. But yeah, next up, we're done on this side, so I'm gonna flip the engine around and we're gonna get to building on the other side. Alright, so instead of putting these nasty old clutch plates in Jeff's CR250 engine here, I'm going to switch them out for some brand new Tusk Competition clutch kit. So they sent this over, and if you guys are needing to replace your clutch, or it's not working correctly or you just want to refresh it going into the season, I definitely recommend checking out Tusk. Affordable price and a quality kit, so it's going to come with brand new plates, and then they also sent over some springs. So I have the friction plates soaking in some oil here. You want to soak them before you put them in, just to make sure they are all ready to go. So I'm going to pull these out, put them on, and then we'll finish off this clutch here. Alright, so unfortunately I had to take off a bunch of the stuff that was on the side, like the clutch and our shifting assembly and the kickstarting mechanism, because I forgot to put this piece on, and I was actually installing it before I took all that stuff off, and then the head of the bolt, like this part of it, stripped off of here, so then it was just flat with the surface. So I have an extractor set that I use to get them out, because it's happened a few times if you're working on stuff. It's just kind of part of the job if something gets cross-threaded or something. But what the issue was, the extractor actually broke off inside the bolt, and the extractor, of course, is like hardened steel, so you can't drill through it. I was trying to drill through it for like 10 minutes. So I'm going to take it to the machine shop. I got to take this whole case off of here, take it to the machine shop, and they're actually going to drill that out for me with a special drill bit. So I'll probably just wanted to let you guys know about that and kind of the process that I went through. You don't want to go too hard on these, because after they break off in there, it's kind of a pain to get them out. So I will kind of let you know how the machine shop goes, and then I'll probably flash back to where we were before. Okay guys, so I am back to where we were before I took everything off to get that drilled out, and the machine shop was able to take care of it. They had a special tungsten carbide drill bit, so we are all good to go from here. We can just put on our right side cover, and then our outer clutch cover. Alright guys, well, the bottom end of the engine is all complete. Came out awesome with the Poison cover on this side and the Tusk oil filler plug. Super happy with it, especially next to this Cerakote. Just looks awesome. I just posted a picture on Instagram and your guys' feedback was awesome on that. So thank you guys so much for that. But next up, we're going to move on to the top end, and I have some super exciting stuff that I'm going to be showing you guys for that. So stay tuned to the end of this video to see how this engine is going to come out. I'm going to go ahead and get to work on finishing this thing up. Alright guys, well, the engine is all ready to go, and for me to put the cylinder on here, but I do want to shout out Millennium Technologies before I do that. So I sent this cylinder out to them to get it completely redone, and they did an amazing job on this. So you can see the cylinder's all cleaned up and vapor blasted, so it's going to match this satin aluminum color here, so I don't even need to Cerakote the cylinder. And really what they did is, if you come look at the exhaust valve in here, there was a good amount of damage. I'll see if I can put on a before and after on the screen here, but this was all chipped up, and now it looks like they welded on it and then got it all smoothed out, and you can't even tell it was there. So cylinder's all ready to go in that aspect, and they also honed it. It's probably hard to see the honing lines on camera, but it's all honed out and ready to go. And then you could probably see here, it looks like they did a really good job porting this cylinder. So they ported it for some mid-range power that's really going to set this cylinder off and really make this engine something special. And they did some porting in the exhaust valve as well. And then the last thing they did, so they did a ton of stuff, but the last thing they did was get the exhaust valve working super smooth and cleaned out, which is just part of your standard service on a cylinder. So I'm super excited. I can definitely recommend these guys to you. They do top-notch work. I'll have them linked down below in the description. If you just want to get your engine running good when you're doing your top end, definitely send it out, get the cylinder replated and honed. Or if you want to go that extra step and get some port work done for some performance, definitely recommend that as well. So I'm going to go ahead, put this thing on here, and we'll get this engine finished up. And Boyson also sent over a set of their rad valve, which is their name for reed valves. But these things are really great for low to mid-range power, which is also what the porting is good for, that we had it set up for. So these two are going to match together really well and help with the power. Alright guys, well, the engine is looking really awesome so far, but it just needs the finishing touch of the cylinder head. And you guys probably guessed it, I'm going to be going with a Fathead Racing cylinder head. If you guys haven't watched the channel before and seen how awesome these things are, basically what you could do is you could take different domes and you can adjust the compression on these. And I pretty much run these on all of my two-stroke engines just because they're so awesome to be able to adjust them for different compressions for whatever compression you're looking to have, or whatever type of fuel you're wanting to run the engine off of. And then also they look pretty sick as well. This is the newer design, so it's just got a different kind of style to it. Instead of going up smoothly, it's got a nice indent into it. Looks really sick like this. And these things are also going to have increased cooling because there's a lot of room for cooling to take place on them. So I'm going to go ahead, we got a H21 style dome here, which is going to be closer to stock. And then we have an H22, and I think I'm going to run the H22 because it's going to be really good for the mid-range power, which will match up with this Boyson rad valve and the porting work we did. And I think Jeff also has electron carburetor waiting for this engine. So super excited to get this on here and see how everything comes out. I'll put this on and then we can go check it out in really good lighting outside. And I forgot to mention this little touch here, so Fathead Racing also does engravings, and then on this one we got Jaywalk engraved on here for him, so super custom, looks awesome on there. Alright guys, well that is going to be it for today's video. I'm really happy with how the engine came out, but I want to hear your thoughts. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think on the engine. Also, if you guys are interested in shopping for any of the parts or tools I used on this engine, go ahead and check them out in the description. And if you guys want to see this engine go into Jeff's bike, make sure to check out his channel and see this build come together. So I'll have a link to his channel on the page here and also down in the description section. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. I really appreciate you watching to the end, and I'll catch you guys next time.